It's time for Jags Jabs, and it's Monday, and you know what that means. On Monday, we do Juggernauts and Jabronis. Juggernauts and Jabronis is the Jags Week in Review, and I am Jefferson Alonzo Green, aka the Jag, and let's jump right into it. I'm going to cover 4 things today: the Jabroni of the Week, the Juggernaut of the Week, the Spot of the Week, and the Promo of the Week, and believe it or not, they're all related this week. Why are they related? Let me get right into it. The Juggernaut of the Week is none other than Mr. Chris Bey. If you want to follow him on social media, it's Dashing Chris Bey, because he is dashing, he is talented, and dare I say, he is prolific and gifted. The guy knows what he's doing in the ring, but he's also one of the nicest individuals I've met in this business, and I couldn't be happier for him that he signed this contract with Impact. Chris Bey has been very popular with both fans and, of course, with promotions as well, and so Chris Bey is going to carry over into our Jabroni of the Week, and the reason why, I gotta talk a little bit of trash about Mr. Cody Rhodes. Now, anybody who hears me talk trash about AEW, all the fans come to the yard to talk trash to the Jag and say, this is why you don't have many subscribers. This is why you suck. This is the last time I'm gonna watch your video. All these are real comments, by the way. Anytime I say anything negative about AEW, people come out of the woodwork to hate. And so AEW fans, get your fingers ready, because it's time to start hating on the Jag. The Jabroni of the Week is none other than Cody freaking Rhodes. Why? I'll tell you why. Now, I don't know much. I am not an insider, nor do I consider myself an influencer. I am a fan that is currently in training to hopefully be a worker, but I'm a fan, and I don't know much. I do know some things, but I don't know a whole lot. I don't have the inside track. I'm no Ryan Satin. I'm no Dave Meltzer. I'm no freaking, Jim Cornette. I'm nobody on the inside. I don't have that kind of insight. However, I can do math. And when I look at the signing of Chris Bey with Impact, I have to imagine that Impact had been talking with him and negotiating with him for a while. I have to assume that Impact had contacted Chris Bey at least a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, possibly even a couple of months earlier. I don't know. That makes logical sense to me. And so when you hear Cody Rhodes, when asked about diversity in AEW, when asked about black wrestlers and more diverse roster in AEW, he says, I've had my eye on Mr. Chris Bey for quite some time, and that's somebody I want to sign. In fact, that's not the first time he's dropped Chris Bey's name. He's dropped Chris Bey's name a couple of different times over the past few months. But here's the thing. If AEW wanted to sign Chris Bey, wouldn't they have to pick up the phone and call Chris Bey and say, hey man, we want to sign you? And if at the same time another company like, let's say, Impact was on the phone with Chris Bey saying, hey dude, we want to sign you, Chris Bey could say, hey Cody, I'd love to work in AEW, but I'm already talking to Impact. Sorry dude, or I've already signed with Impact, or hey Impact, AEW's calling as well, what are you gonna do? There could have been a bidding war, there could have been a race, there could have been a discussion, but here's the thing. I personally believe that Mr. Cody Rhodes knew that Chris Bey had signed a deal with Impact, or at least he was in negotiations with Impact, as he continued to drop his name in interviews and in promos and such. And that pisses me off. And that pisses me off because he was asked a very real question about diversity, and he says, well, I'm looking at signing Chris Bey. But in my opinion, I think he already knew Chris Bey was unavailable. In my opinion, I think common sense would dictate that if he actually had reached out and touched someone, that sounds bad nowadays, but that was the old slogan for, Pacific Bell Telephone Company, whatever. If he had reached out and called Chris Bey and Chris Bey was already in negotiations with Impact, or Chris Bey had already signed with Impact, I think he would have said, oh, that's never gonna happen, clickety click. But that didn't stop him from dropping his name in interviews and on TV, did it? I feel like Cody Rhodes used Chris Bey to deflect the diversity question. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is common sense, because I don't think that wrestling contracts are negotiated and signed in a day. And for all you fans out there that are freaking idiots that said that once Cody said he wanted to sign Chris Bey, Impact hurried up and signed him, I think you're pretty dumb. Because there are contracts and lawyers and all kinds of things involved. This isn't something that happens over the phone with a quick call because they saw something on TV. And please believe me, if that was the case, if Impact decided to call Chris Bey because Cody Rhodes dropped his name, I think Chris Bey is smart enough to work that to his advantage. So I don't like that Cody used Chris Bey to deflect the diversity question. I don't like that Cody Rhodes used Chris Bey in multiple times talking about who he had his eye on, or, diversity wrestlers that he's had his eye on. Chris Bey is much more than a diversity hire. Chris Bey is one of the greatest things in wrestling. And for that, Cody Rhodes, you're the Jabroni of the Week. Now, AEW fans, as you're sitting there typing your hate and how you hate the show and you know why we only have 120 subscribers and all this other BS, I'm going to make you eat your words, or retract your fingers, if you will, because I'm going to tell you that the promo of the week is Mr. Cody Rhodes. Now, I know this wasn't a promo, but the interview after his cage match against freaking Wardlow, where he got choked up and teared up and was talking about his dad, man, nobody can hate on that. That was a hell of a freaking interview, hell of a promo, hell of a spot, because that was a great match, and I really like hearing Cody speak from the heart. So that would be my promo / interview of the week, Cody Rhodes. And hold on a second, AEW fans. I don't know what's happening, but I'm about to give you some more love. The spot of the week is none other than Cody freaking Rhodes hitting the moonsault off the top of the whatever 15, 20-foot cage onto Mr. Wardlow. That was a fantastic spot. It was a great way to end the match, and everybody and their cousin was on their feet cheering for that sucker, including yours truly, the Jag. So, have your fingers retracted? Have you shut your mouth to keep from talking all the trash you're about to talk when I said Cody Rhodes was the Jabroni of the week? AEW fans are the worst fans in the world. In fact, dare I say, wrestling fans are the worst fans in the world. And so I invite you all, every one of you, to bring your love, yes, all of your love, to @AKA the Jag on social media. You know what? And those of you who aren't satisfied with the love that I gave, you can bring your hate. Bring all your hate to @AKA the Jag on social media, and you can also spread the love and spread the hate to @MakeMeAFan316, because we do a new show every day at 9 a.m. Me and the Encyclopedia Pete Travis, and I invite the love, I invite the hate, I invite the AEW backlash, because a lot of you guys are clowns, and some of you guys are cool, but a lot of you guys are clowns, at least the ones that come to this channel. So that's gonna do it for Jags Jabs. Again, make sure you follow @AKA the Jag. Be sure to follow @MakeMeAFan316, and don't forget to follow Heel Turn Wrestling @HT Wrestling 316, and we will see you next time. Take care.